active, ready. It's ticking. It's saying going live, so we must be getting there pretty dang close. So, all right, we're live. Good morning, guys. Michael Batiste, Elk Calling Academy. We have Dave from BackCountry eBikes over my shoulder here. He's kind of getting set up and prepped up, ready for the show. So last year we introduced you guys to BackCountry eBikes, and we kind of talked with Dave a little bit, and we talked about the company, the bikes, just a little bit. So we wanted to come back this year. It's been a year since we've met these guys and kind of talked to them. So we wanted to come back today and kind of talk a little bit more about features. What really separates BackCountry eBikes from everything else out in the industry. So, morning.
Morning.
How we doing?
How's it going, Mike? Good.
Day one was good?
It was good.
Not bad for Thursday, Valentine's Day, but still
Valentine's
decent
Day.
traffic. So
Yeah. Thursday's a good day always to come when you want to really be able to talk to people and get around.
And now it's Friday and Saturday. Well, Friday, which is going to be Madhouse. Saturday, Madhouse.
Yeah.
But so you guys have a couple of new features in the booth this year that you didn't have last year that really showcases some of your components that I think is kind of eye-opening a little bit.
Yeah.
So specifically the motor.
Yeah, the motor. The most common question, everybody thinks e-bikes are the same. What's the difference? So we're trying to teach everybody what the difference is. And
well, let's go take a look. So this is a prime example of the BackCountry e-bike motors versus competitor motors.
So Bafang is the leading company in e-bike motors around the world. They've been around 15, 20 years doing conversion kits. So, this is a good motor. It's the BBS HD made by Bafang. This is the Ultra. This is also made by Bafang, but this is their new top dog motor. As you can see, it's a 3-gear reduction system. I mean, all steel gearing, no Teflon gearing in there. You're talking 18-to-1 in reduction. It's either 1,000 watt or 750 watt. The biggest difference between the two, 750 and 1,000 watts, is going to be RPMs. The 1,000 watt runs at 30 amps. The 750 runs at 25 amps. So same torque, 160 newton torque, powerhouse machine right here. This is the BBS HD. You can see the internal components. This is the motor and the drive. It runs right to a Teflon gear. And then this is the BBS HD reduction gearing, as you can see. The one of the biggest feature between these two, besides the size of the gears and the motor, is that the Ultra is designed with an integrated torque, cadence, and speed sensor all built into this with the controller built in. So you're going to get about 25% more battery efficiency with this motor, and with the torque sensor it's going to give you a natural ride feel. So I mean, you stop pedaling, the power backs off. If you start, it's going to go. There's no delays in the power, and it's going to fluctuate with your foot pound. As hard as you push, it's going to give you more power. If you push light, it's going to lighten up on you, so you're in total control.
So basically, for the non-gearhead, basically advantage is this motor here, you're talking on metal gears.
Correct. Yep.
This motor, you're talking metal on Teflon.
Correct.
So I don't know about you guys, metal on metal to me sounds more durable, more reliable, which means if you're 15, 20, 25 miles back in on a trail, it's kind of a little kick up of confidence, knowing what you have in that motor and how it's built.
You get that Teflon super hot, stripped out. The first generation of the Ultra, they did do a Teflon gear right here, and they did it for noise reduction, basically to try to create some noise reduction, and they just had a few problems with it, so they eliminated it, went steel gearing. The noise is the same. It's still almost completely silent. You're not going to get, and it just runs smooth. I mean, really a maintenance-free motor of its lifetime.
And while we're on here, we see, I can see a few of you in. If there's any of you guys that have any questions about any of these components that we're talking about, feel free to chime in. We are live, so we do have that ability to answer any of those questions, and especially since we have, an expert right here, really be able to, answer those questions. Larry Bennett, good morning. Thanks for tuning in. So, okay, another big question. How far can I go?
Exactly, another big question. So it really depends on weight of the rider, the terrain, how much gear you're pulling. So there's a lot of variables in there.
How much pedal assist, how much throttle,
all
those variables. So I know it's.
So if you come,
But Dave said.
Yeah,
I
can get 20 miles. I can get 50 miles. I can go 100 miles just with the throttle.
Yeah.
So it's going to range from 20 to maybe 80 miles in a charge. We've rode ours on stage 5, sport mode, climbing steep hills, just no worries of batteries, and we've got 23 to 25 miles every time we went riding. So when we've moderated elk hunting this last season, we hunted a week and a half, 4 bikes, 4 guys, and we averaged 34 miles before we had to charge a bike.
But you also, that also depends on which battery you have, because you guys have 3 different batteries, right? 12,
Correct.
17, and 20.
A 14, so
14,
we run
okay.
48 volt systems, and the amp hour on any e-bike is going to be the fuel tank. So we call it the fuel tank of the bike. We got a 14.5 amp hour is our stock battery.
And that's basically, so in layman's terms, that's almost like a 14-gallon gas tank, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So a 14-gallon gas tank, and then we've got a 17.4 that's available, and a 20.5 amp hour battery. So we've never had a big problem, even with the 14.5 that comes stock.
Okay.
But
So
they are available.
Luke Ayer's got a question thrown in. How much can you haul? Now, some of the bikes have racks on them. You guys also have trailer systems, so it's kind of a loaded question. But let's say you have racks and you have a trailer pulling behind. Kind of what's your load capacity?
So the trailers, they're all rated at about 150 pounds of what the manufacturer rating is. The bike's rated at 300 pounds. So if you got a 200-pound rider, 50-pound pack, you could put about 50 pounds on the rack. You're going to be, and it also depends on the terrain. If it's a rocky, rough terrain, I would probably go a little lighter just to avoid pinch flats and breaking chains and
all that stuff.
So, but if you're a flat road, like we pulled a gutted cow elk out on a trailer, just gutted her, put her on the trailer, and pulled her out.
So basically, just be wise, be smart about it. So, Bugle Me This just comment, I used a Quiet Cat 750 Ranger this past elk season. I sold it when I got home. I'll leave it at that.
So yeah, I'm not sure what model that is, but in e-bikes you can get a hub motor, and that's going to be on the lower cost of e-bikes. They're really not meant for any kind of hills or climbing. When we were R&D and we put them to the test, and you might find a couple of them left on the side of the trail somewhere because we would just burn up the controllers and motors, and we're like, to hell with it. Then you can go with a mid-drive system, which is great. It is night and day. Guys that get on this ultra motor, they just lose these, because if you don't know how to ride with one of these, touching your brakes and making sure that thing doesn't jump out, because it's a predetermined power. So if you're on level 3 and you're kind of moving slow, and then you just roll your pedal softly, it's going to kick in that, and they take off.
So I think that's one important thing that you guys need to really key in on that. So where the ultra motor is, kind of a ramp up type motor. So it's basically going to match the efforts you're putting in, where a lot of the other manufacturers out there, their motors are that predetermined set level. So as soon as you start pedaling, it engages to whatever level you have it set at. So, okay, Andy, how much for the trailer, and can I see one? Well, yeah, Andy, we'll get over there. So,
yeah.
So, in fact, you want to go talk about it?
Yeah.
Okay. So now you guys have 2 trailers. You have a single wheel, or
we have 3 styles.
Oh, you got 3 now.
Yeah, 3 styles of trailers.
Have actually advanced since last year.
Yep. I think they're all $269 a piece.
Okay, Andy, $269.
Yep. We've got a deer cart trailer that I mean, it folds up real convenient. The wheels come off with just a click of a button, so you can take the wheels off, you know, store it nice, keep it, you know, in your truck, different places, and it doesn't take up a lot of space.
Transporting. Break it down,
yeah.
takes up less space for transporting, then break it out, put the wheels back on.
Exactly. Yep.
Great design.
So then on the trailer itself, I think I have it tight shut, but basically it's kind of like the old deer carts.
Okay.
The hand cart around.
Yeah. So this will just kind of flip over.
So it folds out.
Okay.
It's got two braces somewhere in here that basically you lock in right here.
Yep.
And you can cart it just like into the woods, get your gear on there or whatnot, whatever, put gear on there, pull it into camp. And then there's a pole that hooks in here, it goes up and hooks onto the side of the rear axle.
So one thing, I don't know if you guys keyed in on that. So this is not something that you just attach to your bike and it's set. So because of this deer cart, you can detach that pole from the bike, then you can roll this into where you have your deer laying or whatnot, loaded onto this cart, yeah, quarters from an elk, loaded onto this cart, use this cart to roll it back out to the bike, then reconnect it to the bike, and out you go, all loaded up.
Yep. Like I say, it's rated at 150 pounds. It's got these adjustable kind of suspension on here to help with the load on trails and things, but you know, just be wise on the terrain and whatnot. Last thing we want is guys breaking something out there.
So Bugle Me This said it was a hub motor on the Quiet Cat 750 that he had. So Andy, how do they tow behind a fat tire pedal bike? So if he just wanted to pick up the cart for his regular fat tire mountain bike.
Yeah, no, they tow well. We could go over and show you a bracket and how they hook on over here just to make sure. Some axles are different, so depending on the axle, that's how it's going to attach. So
yeah.
Wander over here where we have some of the bikes.
So we're going to wander over here so you guys can actually see one of the other trailers that are already connected to a bike. So this will give you another example of one of the other trailers that they have offered. But this will show you kind of the pin system, how it attaches.
So basically, the pin's on here. You want to get it on nice and tight. Pull that pin, and it just comes off like this. This is the attachment that you just, depending on it's a 3/8 hole in this bracket, and so depending on if you have a quick axle or a through axle, it's just if you can fit that in there, and then you attach it to it. So,
and here's the other one of the other trailer options that you guys have.
Yep.
So again, this is the other tandem wheel.
Yep, this is the folding cargo trailer. So same thing, it's got quick release wheels. So the wheels are quick release. Take them off for storage, and then this also breaks down to lay flat, so it stores nice. The handle unpins and swings underneath, pins back in. You know, just try to keep it so you can store it. It's not taking up a lot of space.
Nice. So any other new features this year? Anything that you guys have added besides the Ultra?
So the Ultra, but we've kind of gone through the whole mule basically from, pretty much from top to bottom from last year. We've upgraded the brake system, so we're running a 203 and 180 millimeter discs, dual hydraulic brakes. We've upgraded to Maxxis Minion, the 120 TPI tires. They're just above and beyond the Kendas. They just ride, you feel the terrain. They're just a great directional tire, rear and front, so you have direction and grip. They come with the rear rack, fenders, and a 200 lumina headlight with the bike. We've gone through even to down to the pedals. You know, we've machined our own pedals that are super light. They've got good traction on here, so your boots are not slipping. And it's really hard for these to hold mud.
Yeah.
Right down to the handle grips. We've got locking handle grips, so you can adjust these, so you can then lock them so they're not twisting on you. Wide handlebars, so when you got your pack on, you really have a good, stable grip on these 740 millimeter grips. And all of our mule comes stock with the GT Mark air fork. so you can adjust the air.
I saw you do a video on that the other day. You can adjust the stiffness of the ride on it.
Yep.
So
Super great fork, high-end fork, adjustable, 100 millimeter travel. I mean, yeah. Trying to think what else. I mean,
yeah, let's see if we've got any other quick questions. That would be awesome. All right, you twisted my arm, Michael. Where can I get one of these trailers and one day maybe an e-bike?
So BackCountry eBikes.com. You can order them from us. We have dealers around too that sell them. Let's flip over real quick. I'll show you some of this other stuff we've added. You know, one thing that we really try to do is, these can be the greatest tool, but they can also be the biggest pain in the butt if you don't maintain, you know, last thing we want guys breaking down in the woods
right
or out in the trail. So we've designed, we've got these steel chain guards to protect the chain. We've designed this brush buster, so sagebrush, different things coming through is going to deflect it from the derailleur, but then also a side derailleur guard to protect the side derailleur. This, you don't want this breaking off on the trail.
No. So I've added in some protective features to, you know, definitely, because, you know, guys, you know, they're using these, like you said, are going through sagebrush, you know, they're up on the mountain on tight trails, they're going to get into brush. So you've added kind of some features to kind of minimize the potential for breakdown.
Exactly. We use them and abuse them ourselves. Like, that's what we want them to be able to do. And but then also they are bikes, you know, they are needing some TLC every now and then to maintain that, so you don't have problems.
Right. And that's one thing that you guys need to understand is, you know, these are equipment, these are gear. They're not bomb proof. You do have maintenance, so it's just like anything else. If you take care of your gear is going to take care of you.
Exactly.
So by running the maintenance. So, all right, don't see any other questions. So there you go, guys. There's a little bit about BackCountry e-bikes, kind of some of their components that separates them from others on the market. So if you're definitely looking, BackCountry e-bikes or e-bikes in period are becoming more and more popular because I know, talking to you and Brian, it's really changed the way you guys hunt.
Oh yeah. I mean, we hunt this year. It's just been amazing. I mean, we've seen so many more animals getting around the mountain quickly, quietly, you know, respectful to the other hunters. We're not out on ATVs burning, you know, going around. Animals are getting smart. They're not like they used to be, you know. I mean, we've been back in the hills and bison herd of elk and heard an ATV coming up 2 miles away, and they all lift their heads and move into the trees.
They know it. Yeah. So like me in Idaho, I know a lot of states have rules that, you know, you can't take some of these on closed gates, or they could only be on certain trails. But really, if you're on motorcycle trails or you have ATV trails, imagine slipping in quietly on one of these versus a motorcycle or a four-wheeler. And I know sometimes, you know, as soon as you get into the discussion with cost, you know, everybody's like, ooh, really, that much for, you know, a bike? Because the 750 is
$43.98 and $44.98 for the 1000.
For the 1000s. So you're talking $43, $44, $4,500 range. Yeah. But if you really price a four-wheeler or a motorcycle, are you really that far off? No, you're not. But now the advantage is, and Dave hit on a huge point, these animals know the sound of the ATV, they know the sound of the motorcycle. So imagine using one of these e-bikes on this motorcycle trail. You're slipping in nice and quietly, but the nice thing is too, because you're coming in quiet, if you hear a bull crack off, you're going to be able to hear it riding one of these e-bikes. He doesn't know you're there. You're in, you're on it, you're quiet. So
yeah,
Dave, appreciate the time.
Okay.
We're getting close to opening. So, hey, everybody, thanks for tuning in. Hopefully you enjoyed this. As always, keep calling, keep practicing. Most importantly, have fun. Stay tuned. We've got a lot more videos, guys. It's only day 2 of the Hunt Expo. We'll see you on the next one.